What experiences from those first two can you carry over for this one?
To be honest with you, I haven't played in a regional where there hasn't been a weather delay, so I'm hoping that the Tucson regional provides some good weather for us. But going in, it's going to be a lot of good baseball. You can't overlook anybody. You got to play every game like it's your last, and we're excited.
Well, yeah, considering that, the weather thing, when you find out you're playing here, it's like, well, you know what to expect from the weather. Like, how difficult was that maybe last year with the Arkansas one where the second game, you had no idea when that game was going to happen?
Yeah, that was crazy. And even going back 2 years ago to Miami, it was like we were just sitting in their cages for hours waiting to play, trying to stay ready. So I think there's definitely a benefit in playing here and hopefully not having to deal with anything like that. But whatever happens and whatever's thrown at us, we'll be ready.
How have you guys been able to successfully encompass the transfers that have come in here? You've got Clark, you've got Blake, those guys that played at other schools and may only be here for 1 year, but you've been able to quickly bring them into this program and make them feel at home.
Yeah, I think credit goes first to our coaching staff. They brought in the right guys and, guys that we've needed, guys that fit into the culture, guys that get along with all the teammates. So credit to them. Doing a good job over the last year, bringing them here, and I'm happy those guys are here. But yeah, we're excited for this regional and excited to keep continuing the success we've had.
What's it been like playing in the middle infield with Mason this year?
It's been awesome. Mason and I have grown way closer than we were last year, and it's nice kind of just knowing we're both out there together every day.
On that last play against USC, was Mason supposed to go to first?
I don't know. The guy hit it pretty hard, and I kind of thought he was going to go throw it to first, but I tried to run. Yeah, I was pretty far over in the hole, and there needs to be a little bit better communication for sure on that one. But we got the out and we got the win, so it's all good.
What do you remember about the West Virginia series from last year?
What I remember is J.J. Weatherholt had a bunch of hits and a bunch of doubles, so we kind of learned that he was one of the best players in the country. But no, they're a really good, solid team, and they play together. They play their game. They're coached really well, so it's everything you'd expect out of a matchup in this time of year.
All right, that was Garen Caulfield, the infielder for the Arizona Wildcats, junior, potentially playing in his last season here at the University of Arizona. I would imagine he is going to be a young man that will be drafted this year. The question will be if he decides to take that opportunity and move on to his professional career. And, didn't have any hits in the game against USC, but had been swinging a nice bat towards the end of the year. He had had 6 hits over the course of the previous 4 games before that, including 3 RBIs. So Garen Caulfield, you want to see him continue to swing the bat. Average down to 309, and as I mentioned, it had been as high as 391 at the beginning of that series where the Wildcats swept the UCLA Bruins earlier this year and all walk-off wins here at home. So want to see Garen Caulfield swinging that bat for the Arizona Wildcats as you head into the postseason. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. We're going to hear from more of your Arizona Wildcats. We'll also talk some FC Tucson women's soccer as well as some racing, NASCAR. Saturday night out at the Speedway. Ron Norman is going to join us out here in the 5 o'clock hour. We'll talk some racing with him. He is going to be back on the oval out at Tucson Speedway, 9-time track champion out there, deciding to get back behind the wheel after spending a few years doing things behind the scenes with other racers. But once you're a driver, the itch never goes away to get behind the wheel and spin that oval. And so we'll talk to to Ron Norman about his opportunity to get back out there in a nice-looking new vehicle that he'll have. And they've got a really cool program. Him and Jim Rayburn, who is one of his partners, they've got a really cool program they'll tell you about as well, about some of the things they're doing with this opportunity to race again out the Speedway. Cricket's getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives. She's got your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Oracle and River Road, we've got a reported brush fire on the southeast quadrant of Oracle and River Road. Vehicle fire, Tucson Boulevard, south of Fort Lowell. Crashes that are clearing Speedway and Kolb Road, on Pantano between Broadway and Speedway at 5th Street, and also Broadway west of Kolb at Jessica. 67 the low, 101 tomorrow, 100 Sunday. And we've got breezy this weekend, 101 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business's needs. From quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options, Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Do you need your home repiped? Having trouble with your water heater? Leaking toilet? Have you ever thought about an instant recorded seweroscopy? Then call Economy Plumbing Service at 885-3510. Because if water goes through it or to it, we do it. Economy Plumbing, 885-3510.
Your home for in-depth conversation.
Nothing they do is by surprise. They telegraph what they want to do, and then they brag about it afterwards. It's a way to keep us at each other's throats.
The most pressing issues.
This was just a white-on-black crime, and you can already see the narrative starting to form in real time.
And fresh perspective.
The air marshals will not be on the airplanes because they're down at the border escorting illegal aliens to their Ubers.
America's most loved truth tellers live on Tucson's home for conservative talk. This is Freedom 1400.
My helmet saved me after they crashed into my motorcycle, but I still couldn't ride for weeks. The insurance company tried hammering me into a quick settlement. No way. The bird, the eagle, Goldberg and Osborne. Nobody knows Arizona like the eagle. Phoenix to Tucson, Flagstaff to Havasu, and every bit of blacktop in between. Wherever you go, the eagle is there. So if you've been injured, don't wait. Give the insurance company the bird.
Give them the bird. Call the Eagle. Goldberg and Osborne. 1-800-THE-EAGLE.
Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Now.
Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Now.
Hey guys, what are you...
Gotta take this. Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Now.
Thank you for... Right. You don't say. Now.
Hold it. What's with all the nows?
People want to know the best time for an elastification.
And you're telling them...
Hello? Now.
Well, there's no bad time for elastification, but the best time is now.
Pretty soon, Arizona temps are going to put a strain on your AC.
Now is really the best time.
You're not telling people about all the money they save?
Now.
Or how Alaskan AC will make their AC last longer?
Now.
Or the big 1-year guarantee that their AC will not break down?
Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Well, Ron wants to tell you a bunch of stuff. I know. That's kind of what I told him. Okay, thanks. Oh, by the way, now.
The best time for elastification is...
now.
Schedule at AlaskanAC.com. Now.
Look! Up in the sky! It's a bird! It's a plane! No, it's...
I'm Captain Tobacco from Tobacco Barn.
My tobacco hero.
I'm here to wipe out high prices on tobacco products. I'm also here to inform citizens that you could save up to 40% on your favorite tobacco products. Pay no city or state sales tax at Tobacco Barn and save up to another $3 with a coupon at TobaccoBarnTucson.com. Uh-oh, I see high prices. Excuse me.
Save up to 40% off all your tobacco products at Tobacco Barn. Tobacco Barn is on the Indian Reservation, so you're not paying state tax or any city sales tax. Plus, you can get a coupon for an additional $3 off at TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
Take it from Captain Tobacco. Save up to 40%. Save with no city or state sales tax. And save with a coupon at TobaccoBarnTucson.com. Well, time for me to fly.
Tobacco Barn, Nogales Highway just south of Valencia. Check TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including
A sports tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. We're coming to you live from High Corbett Field, Arizona. Baseball tonight against the Grand Canyon Antelopes, the fourth meeting of the season between these two teams. And it is going to be a chance for one of these two teams to advance in the winner's bracket to face West Virginia tomorrow, as West Virginia knocked off the Dallas Baptist Ball Club today by a score of 4-1. 6:05 first pitch coming up here tonight. Brian Jeffries' coverage will begin at 5:50. We were talking a little bit earlier in the show about what's happening in professional basketball. We know who the finals participants are going to be in the NBA. What we don't know is who the finals participants are going to be in the National Hockey League. Neither one of those two series have finished just yet. The Florida Panthers win last night, once again taking out the Rangers by a score of 3-2. So Florida now has a 3-2 lead in that series as they'll come back down to Miami, or suburban Miami, Fort Lauderdale, for game number 6. That'll be on Saturday. The Panthers with a chance to close out the Rangers and throw some more rats onto the ice in the process. I'm sure the ice will get flooded by rats if they can finish that series off on Saturday night. Tonight it'll be Game 5 in the Western Conference, and that'll be back down in Texas. The Dallas Stars trying to get to the finals, much like their counterparts, the Dallas Mavericks, have done. But the American Airlines Arena is going to be real busy, or it's been real busy all postseason. It's going to continue to be busy if the Stars can get a win tonight and go up 3-2 over the Oilers. The Oilers came back. They were in a deep hole in the game the other night in Edmonton. They were down 2-0 in that game, but rallied to win it by a score of 5-2. And so 2-2 in the Western Conference Finals. Game 5 coming up. That'll be about a 5:30 start time here in Arizona.
TK.
6:30 down in Dallas tonight.
What the hell's going on in Dallas?
I don't know.
Rangers, Stars, and Mavericks.
Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty impressive for sure. The only thing that's not happening down there is the most popular team, and that's the Cowboys. They can't seem to get anything together and try to get back to a championship.
Don't pile on. Kelvin Ifan might be listening.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Well, you know who was piling on last night? None other than Luka Doncic.
Doncic front-footer and a 16-footer, and he is red hot to begin things. Doncic creeping his way inside with an easy shot. 5 of 5.
He is blowing.
Doncic weaving, sidestepping, and Lively is up high to slam it home. And Doncic has it with a Lively screen, tailed by Anderson. Doncic, 14 for Luka on the logo. What is going on here? He is on one tonight. Poked away Anderson, controlled by the Mavs.
Here comes another heat check from Luka.
Doncic again, another 3. Got it! He's a flamethrower! He is on fire! 20 points!
I mean, a 39-point lead at the half? What in the world was that last night by the Minnesota Timberwolves, who you thought it maybe had a little bit of momentum with the win in Game 4 in Dallas, coming home with their crowd, and Luka Doncic took them out of the ball game from the opening tap as just unbelievable. They outscored the Wolves by 16 in the first quarter and by 13 in the second quarter. I said 39, 29-point lead at the half, J-Dub.
Yeah, Luka is a bit of a sore subject in these parts because, number one, the Suns could have drafted him, but instead they drafted DeAndre Ayton. Number two, he was kind of responsible for the worst postseason drubbing they've ever had 3 years ago in that Game 7. So, but I will say this. Luka Doncic is only 24, right? We kind of get the idea like he's been around forever because he started professional basketball when he was 13, came to the NBA when he was really young. He's 5-time first-team All-NBAer, but seeing a player of that caliber, DK, find his way to the finals and get to perform at that highest level, it's really some of the trades they made this year. Getting the defense, picking up P.J. Washington was a big one. But I got a fun stat for you. Ready, DK?
Yeah.
There's a guy. You might have heard of. His name is Grant Williams.
Yeah.
Grant Williams started this year with the Boston Celtics. There were some rumors behind the scenes that maybe he wasn't great for the locker room, so he got traded. You know where? He got traded to the Mavericks. So Grant Williams started the year in the Celtics, got traded to the Mavericks, and then right before the trade deadline, he got traded for P.J. Washington. So Grant Williams started the year with the Celtics, traded to the Mavericks, finished the year on neither of those two teams that are both going to the finals.
Yeah, and there's another name, Josh Green, for the Dallas Mavericks as a legendary streak continues, J-Dub.
Yeah, 10 years now, DK. 10 years in a row, an Arizona Wildcat has been involved in the NBA Finals. If you think about it, obviously all those Warriors teams, there's endless Wildcats, including the head coach there. Also, Andre Iguodala is a player. But if you think about Miles Simon with his year with the Lakers, that was the one that was not necessarily a player involved. And then last year with the Nuggets, 2 Wildcats on that team. So, 10 years in a row, DK, that a former Arizona Wildcat has been involved in the NBA Finals.
That is pretty impressive. That is pretty impressive indeed when you think about the history of this program here, the great players that have come out, the great players who have become coaches, and to be able to have a streak like that, like you mentioned, whether it's a player like an Aaron Gordon or a Josh Green or an Andre Iguodala, to the coaches, named Steve Kerr and the like, that have been able to be involved with teams, the Luke Waltons and the likes, as assistant coaches with teams, Brett Bromeyer as well, who was an assistant on those Cavalier teams when they were playing the Warriors, all Arizona Wildcat connections to the NBA Finals. But let's hear from the guy that got it done. 20 points in the first quarter, Luka, on if it's set in yet that he is going to the NBA Finals. This is what he was talking about last night with the guys from TNT.
Not yet. But there's still 4 games to win left. But this is amazing. I think we should enjoy tonight because this is special, especially coming from the West. We had to go through a lot, especially in the season, up and down, but we stay together.
Last game, you didn't really shoot the ball that well, and superstars like yourself, when you don't shoot the ball well in your mind, it's a bad game. What do you feel after you have a bad game? Do you say, I need to come out and make sure I don't have 2 bad games in a row?
Yeah, my mindset would just set a tone. I know if I was going to go off in the first quarter, they're going to stop doubling me, and then it's going to open for everybody.
We love what you did tonight, just coming out, setting the tone, no screwing around. It goes back to your press conference, and I love when you do this, even when you're lying. You're like, I just got to play better. You always take full responsibility. You never like, hey, we got to play better. This dude got to play better. You in that press conference after the last game, I love the fact you said, hey, you know what? I got to play better. And you came out and set the tone, man. It was beautiful to watch. Enjoy the finals. We're going to miss you.
Oh, man.
We're done after tonight.
I know. You ain't done yet. We got to figure out something. So you guys
we got all next year, too. And then who knows after that?
DK, what if I told you that only 4 players have had a playoff run where they scored 450 points, had 150 assists, and 150 rebounds? Those 4 players are LeBron James, Nikola Jokic, and Larry Bird, and now Luka Doncic.
And did all three of those priors do that in a season in which they won the title?
Well, I would imagine. I mean, if you're putting up 450 points and 150 assists and 150 rebounds, you got to go deep into the playoffs for sure. I would be remiss, DK. You did mention Aaron Gordon earlier.
Yeah.
His brother passed away. Drew Gordon, we all remember him playing at UCLA, passed away in a car accident. And, thoughts and prayers go out to his family.
Absolutely. Everyone here at Wildcats Radio 1290 thinking of Aaron Gordon and his family in this difficult time. The basketball community has been hit hard this week, especially the Wildcat family has been hit hard. Former players who have lost loved ones earlier this week, with Luke Walton losing his father, Bill Walton, and now Aaron Gordon losing his older brother, Drew. So we definitely have all of those folks in our thoughts as we move forward. Luka Doncic, 36 points, 10 rebounds in that game. Kyrie Irving, also big for the Dallas Mavericks. He had 36 points. Karl Anthony Towns, 28, did not shoot the three as well as he had. Still had 12 rebounds. Anthony Edwards finished with 28 as well, but just not enough for the young Timberwolves, who I'm sure learned a lot. And Anthony Edwards, after the ball game, about what led to that early hole for his team.
And you guys clearly had a lot of confidence coming into the game and believe you get back in it. What did you see happen so early there that just brought a knockout punch and made it tough to come back?
Luka. Just that simple. He had like 3 shots from the logo. So pretty much nothing we can do about it.
3 shots from the logo.
Yeah, when you heard Reggie Miller getting real excited there about heat checks, that was that sequence there towards the end of the first quarter. Luka, I don't know if you heard this story, but apparently a fan on the sidelines was, because Luka's got a bit of a reputation to turn towards refs after certain plays. And so apparently a fan said something about crying to the refs or whatever, and every time Luka hit a shot, he looked over at that fan. So, and then obviously everybody saw the clip, I'm sure, of him after he made the fadeaway and one and looked down to Snoop Dogg, who was sitting on the baseline as well. Luka really, really likes to get involved, and that's not a guy, DK, right now that you want to be talking trash to.
No, you don't want to make him angry, because he definitely will talk that trash back, as he did to that gentleman that you were talking about, who was sitting in the front row. Like I think the word was "Who's crying now?"
Yeah,
and something about somebody's mother.
Yeah. I think we've heard all the stories about Larry and Michael and those kind of guys, and at some point when you become so skilled and so confident in what you're able to do out there on the court, DK, you kind of have to look for those little mini motivations, like the time Larry Bird shot the whole game left-handed and that whole thing. And Luka, he's still a young player, but clearly full confidence in his abilities. He's got the whole package. That's not a person. If he's having a bad game, let him. You know what I mean? That's not the kind of guy you want to get angry and start having a reason to come back. And again, I think that was just simple motivation of he didn't play super. He quote unquote didn't play great in game 5, DK. I'm sorry, game 4. But he actually had something like 30, 10, and 10 anyway.
Yeah.
But tonight yesterday he came out with a concerted effort. Wasn't gonna let that game slip away. And that first quarter and second quarter, as you said, Luka and Kyrie, they basically just sent the younger Timberwolves team home and, got some learning lessons. That team will be back, though. That's a really nice roster. But, man, the Mavericks are playing really, really good right now.
All right, we are out here at High Corbett Field, Arizona Baseball, opening up the NCAA Tournament tonight against the Grand Canyon Antelopes. I would imagine there's going to be a lot of purple in the house, hopefully not enough to match all the red that we are expecting down here, as folks are already starting to show up here at High Corbett Field for this ball game tonight, expecting a very large crowd for this NCAA tournament opener as the Wildcats begin down that road to what they hope will be Omaha, Nebraska. Much more coming up for you in the 4 o'clock hour. We're going to hear from Mason White. We're going to hear from Dawson Netz, one of the captains of your Arizona Wildcats. We'll also hear from the Grand Canyon Antelopes, who ironically had an interesting flight alongside the Arizona Wildcats earlier this season. We'll hear them talk about that, as well as some of the things they've taken away from their pitching coach, an Arizona Wildcat, Nathan Bannister, who led this Arizona program to within 1 win of the World Series title back in 2016. If you did not catch our conversation with Nathan Bannister yesterday, head on over right now to our website, wildcatsradio1290.com. Also, you can see that on our app. Download our app. Our app slaps. We'll tell you much more about that as we go on today. It's DK on the Sports Tip. JW Madden is here. Cricket is here. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Oracle and River Road, we've got a reported brush fire on the southeast quadrant of Oracle and River Road. Vehicle fire, Tucson Boulevard, south of Fort Lowell. Crashes that are clearing Speedway and Kolb Road, on Pantano between Broadway and Speedway at 5th Street, and also Broadway west of Kolb at Jessica. 67 the low, 101 tomorrow, 100 Sunday. And we've got breezy this weekend, 101 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business's needs. From quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options, Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Now.
Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Now.
Hey guys, what are you...
Gotta take this. Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Now.
Thank you for... Uh-huh. Right. You don't say. Uh-huh. Now.
Hold it. What's with all the nows?
People want to know the best time for an elastification.
And you're telling them...
Hello? Now.
Well, there's no bad time for elastification, but the best time is now.
Pretty soon, Arizona temps are going to put a strain on your AC.
Now is really the best time.
You're not telling people about all the money they save?
Now.
Or how Alaskan AC will make their AC last longer?
Now.
Or the big 1-year guarantee that their AC will not break down?
Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Well, Ron wants to tell you a bunch of stuff. I know. That's kind of what I told him. Okay, thanks. Oh, by the way, now.
The best time for elastification is...
now.
Schedule at AlaskanAC.com. Now.
Free tickets to a U of A baseball game? That's what Clipper Automotive is giving you a chance to win. Clipper Automotive is now a proud partner of Arizona Athletics and would like to give you the opportunity to win a pair of tickets to a University of Arizona baseball game this season. All you need to do is stop by the shop on Thorndale Road and put your information in the Enter to Win box. That's right, stop by to enter at Clipper Automotive. No purchase necessary. Clipper Automotive provides honest, reasonable, and stress-free automotive repair services and looks forward to servicing your vehicle.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles, with an auto warranty about to expire, or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost, month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-736-6158 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-736-6158. That's 800-736-6158. What do you have to lose? Call 800-736-6158. Again, 800-736-6158.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text ORDER to 42424.
your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text ORDER to 42424. That's order to 42424.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We are the sports station that Tucson turns to for all the latest news when it comes to Arizona men's basketball, along with all the play-by-play action. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
From the what? Central Northwest Tucson. Duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
And Cricket getting you home when traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but 3 first names, David Scott Kelly.
Coming to you live from High Corbett Field here in Tucson, Arizona. It is baseball night in Arizona. The NCAA tournament gets underway tonight for your Wildcats as they will take on the Grand Canyon Antelopes. I am seeing right now a lot of Cardinal and Navy. I'm not seeing a lot of purple and white just so yet. Not just so yet are we seeing any of the purple and navy that is synonymous with the Grand Canyon Antelopes. If you're heading down the I-10, you got us on, you're heading to the game tonight, give us a call. Let us know your thoughts if you're a Lopes fan. 520-848-1290. If you're heading over here tonight and you're a Wildcat fan, how excited are you? 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. This is the 3rd time that Arizona has hosted the NCAA tournament since they moved here to High Corbett Field. You'll remember the first season they moved here was, in fact, 2012, and they hosted the NCAA Regional that year. They also hosted it back in 2021. Both of those years, they went to the World Series. We talked about the 2016 run yesterday when we had Nathan Bannister on, the pitching coach for the Grand Canyon Antelopes, who was a part of that 2016 team that went to the World Series. That team had to do it on the road in both rounds, the regional round in Lafayette, Louisiana, and then the super regional round in Hattiesburg, Is it Hattiesburg, Mississippi State? Is that where Mississippi State is, J-Dub? Am I getting those Mississippi cities? Ooh. Or is that is Hattiesburg Southern Miss? I never get. I always get Southern Miss and Mississippi. Yeah, thank you. Starkville, Mississippi. Hattiesburg is Southern Miss.
More importantly, you just had a caller call in. I've seen this question asked a couple times online. Mm-hmm. So the question, DK, is High Corbett allows for the sale of adult beverages.
Yes.
Because it's off campus.
Right.
However, the NCAA has certain rules. A lot of people want to know, DK, will they be selling beer at the game tonight?
I did not hear that they weren't.
We need to effort that answer because I think that's the big question of the night that I'm seeing is, can we enjoy a nice adult beverage while we're watching postseason baseball?
I'll have to put that question in to the minds that know, and we'll see if we can get an answer to that for you. I don't know. I've not heard that there won't be any beer here tonight. I might send one of our crack staff, either Jackie or Monica. Maybe you could roll in there and find out if beer is going to be served.
Send them in there to order a beer and see what happens.
I don't know that I want to order a beer just yet.
Okay.
It's a little bit early for that one right there. But I mentioned that this is the 3rd time that the Wildcats have hosted a regional. They are 10-1 in NCAA tournament games at High Corbett Field. We talked about, I think we mentioned we're talking about the success that the Oklahoma State softball team had at home last week when the Wildcats had to go in there and try to navigate that. Well, this is also a team in terms of the Wildcats who have had a lot of success here at home this season. So, I mean, not really this season, but since they moved here to this ballpark in 2012. 10-1 in NCAA tournament games here at High Corbett Field. And, you know, Jada, we were talking about this a couple weeks ago about who's the best all-time team in NCAA tournament history.
The question I posed was, is USC still considered the best? Because we all know that they've got 16 titles or something, but it's been a minute since they've won one.
Right. Well, let me give you the list in terms of wins. Now, obviously, this, in terms of all-time wins does not necessarily make you the best ever. But in terms of all-time wins, here's your top 10. Fordham is number 1. Would you have thought Fordham was number 1?
That's not a team I would have thought, but my assumption is they've probably been playing the longest. Eh?
Yeah, 164 seasons has Fordham been playing. Exactly. They've won 4,700 games in 164 seasons. They put out some great broadcasters. I don't know how many major leaguers they've put out from Fordham, but they've put out some great broadcasters. The legendary Vin Scully was a Fordham grad, I believe. Maybe Marv Albert went to Fordham as well. So, again, that's a school that's put out some nice broadcasters that have done well around the game of baseball.
There have been 56 major leaguers played at Fordham, including all-star pitcher Pete Harnisch and Baseball Hall of Famer Frankie Frisch.
All right, I don't remember Frankie Frisch, but I do remember Pete Harnisch.
He was the Fordham Flash, apparently, was his nickname.
Okay, there you go. So Fordham is number 1. They are obviously not a Power 5. In terms of the Power 5s, Texas is number 2. They've won just under 3,700 games in 128 seasons. A Pac-12 team, J-Dub, is number 3. You want to guess who that is?
I'm assuming because you posed a question like that, it's probably not USC. I'll go with Stanford.
Stanford, you would be correct. Stanford is number 3 in all-time wins, 3,108 in 131 seasons. Michigan is number 4. Florida State is number 5. North Carolina 6. Clemson 7. USC 8. And then 9 and 10 are none other than your Sun Devils and your Wildcats. So of the top 10, 4 Pac-12 teams in the top 10 all-time wins. This is the 3,000 win club, okay, because the Wildcats earlier this year passed 3,000 wins in program history. So 4 teams in the Pac-12 and the dissolving Pac-12 are on the list of top 10 all-time winningest programs in the NCAA. So, again, the conversation was, is USC still the best, or can they be considered the best program ever? I mean, they are top 10 in wins at number 8, and they're number 1 in titles with 12. Of course, they've only won 1 title, I think, since 1975. And then you look at a team like LSU, who's probably somewhere below that in the top. I imagine they're in the top 20, but they've won all 7 of their titles since 1991. So it's an interesting debate. For sure. If you want to get in on that debate, we'll take your call. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. But, again, some teams that are in this tournament. Florida State, North Carolina, Clemson are all in it. Arizona, obviously, in the tournament. Texas is in the tournament. Among those top 10 teams, those teams are playing this weekend and have a chance to continue to play if they can advance this week. All right, so again, the first game here today went in favor of West Virginia. 4-1 was the final in that contest. Coming up in this hour, we are going to hear from still a number of your Arizona Wildcats. In the next segment, we will hear from the Grand Canyon Antelopes. We will let you hear from them. They were, obviously, Media Day was out here yesterday prior to the tournament starting. We heard from the Wildcats. We heard from Grand Canyon, Dallas Baptist, as well as West Virginia. A lot of students here early tonight. I don't know if there's a student promotion going on, but I think student tickets were available starting at 4:30. So a lot of students are out at the ballpark early today getting their seats, and that's really cool because, again, you see the Zona Zoo obviously is synonymous with football and basketball. You don't necessarily see a coordinated Zona Zoo presence at a lot of the baseball games, but it's cool even with school being out that you're seeing a lot of students that are here early for this game tonight. You love to see the students here.
Got to have support. Got to have that support. DK, I do have the 11 through 20 if you want them real quick.
Yes, 11 through 20.
So 11th in wins is Texas A&M, then Mississippi State. The Cougars, Washington State, is 13th all-time. They've
really? Washington State?
2,800 is their number of wins.
Okay.
Yep. Oklahoma State comes in 14th. LSU, as you mentioned, is 15th. They've got 2,700, so right about on the cusp of that 3,000 club, like you said. Miami of Florida, 16. Alabama, 17. South Carolina, 18. Florida, 19. Oklahoma, 20. So we talk about how there's four, former Pac-12 teams in that top 10. A lot of SEC teams there in the 11 through 20 range.
Yeah, they're starting to move up that chain for sure. SEC baseball has gotten so strong in the last 10 years.
Crazy one to me is Miami. Miami, what if I told you Miami's only played 73 seasons relative to LSU 128, almost twice as many seasons, and Miami has 2,700 wins.
Well, again, that's a program that, throughout the 80s, 90s, early part of this century, I mean, Miami baseball was always there. That was a program that was always there and one to be contended with. They haven't necessarily been as much recently. I mean, obviously that was a program that knocked out the Wildcats 2 years ago, but I don't think they've been in since then. I don't know that they were in last year, and they're not in this year.
Another good way, I like percentage. Like, that's how I usually do it with basketball if I'm looking at all-time stats because, you got a team that plays 20 extra seasons. As far as percentage all-time, Texas is number one, 72% of all their games they've won. Florida State and Miami is third. The school up north is 5th. Arizona 10th. I'm sorry, 11th. So just behind Coastal Carolina. Arizona 118 seasons. Coastal Carolina 48 seasons. So just behind them, just outside of the top 10 as far as percentage goes, 648 is the all-time winning percentage.
Wow, 648. Pretty impressive indeed. When you look at everything that this program has done over its history to be considered in that range, I think I'll go back to what I said yesterday. You just want a little bit more consistency. You'd like to see this team, this program, run off 10, 11, 12 NCAA tournaments in a row, and then I think you can really establish yourself as one of the dominant programs. I think, again, because I think it goes back to, to numbers. I mean, when you look at the numbers, and I was, thinking about this yesterday when we were talking about Jensen Lewis. I mean, when he was talking about the fact that the Vanderbilt Commodores have been to, 18 consecutive NCAA tournaments. I mean, you're going to fall into some deep runs. And it, kind of what we saw with Arizona basketball all those years. You're going to fall in to some deep runs. You're going to fall in when you go to the tournament 18 times in a row like Vanderbilt. You're going to fall into some championships. And they won it in 2014, and they won it in 2019. If you can get there every year, there's going to be years when you're going to walk away at the top of the mountain at the end of it.
Didn't they have two pitchers drafted in the top 10 that year? I just remember that.
The 19 team?
Yeah, and they had two knockout starters that year.
Yeah. I don't remember who they were, but yes, I think that, again, they've had a laundry list of great starters that have come through that program. And so let's hope the Wildcats can add a fourth College World Series this century to their list this season. And it begins here tonight against Grand Canyon.
What if I told you that Vanderbilt has had two top 10 picks in 3 different Major League Baseball drafts, 2007, 2015, and 2021. So, that 21 year, I think, is when they had.
There you go.
Jack Leader was one of their pitchers, I think. Yeah. Yeah, Leiter.
But here's interesting. You talk about Texas. We were talking about Texas in terms of winning percentage. Most appearances in the NCAA tournament, they have with 63. Arizona is also on that list. They are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th on that list of most appearances in the NCAA tournament. And the 5 schools with the most appearances that have never won a championship. Can you name one of those, J-Dub?
Ooh, most postseason appearances without a title.
Yeah, we talked about one of them already being on that
Cougars?
list of 20, that top 20. One of them is actually several of them are in that top 20. I'd say at least 3 of them are in that top 20 of all-time wins.
Maybe Cougars?
Cougars. Oh, Washington State?
Yeah.
No, because they don't really go to the tournament a lot. They might have a lot of wins, but I don't know if they have a lot of tournament appearances.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if there's top 20, it'd have to be a bunch of those SEC schools. So maybe Alabama?
Actually, only one SEC school is on that list, and that's Texas A&M. Texas A&M has been to the tournament 37 times. They've never won it.
That's a bit.
Carolina has been 35 times. They've never won it. St. John's, ironically, 37 times. They were here, I believe, in 2012 when the Wildcats hosted their first one here at High Corbett Field. Clemson, 45 times. They've never won it. Florida State.
Wow.
59 NCAA tournament appearances without a title.
I would not have guessed that. I would have thought Florida State got one.
Yeah.
One of those years in the 80s and 90s.
There you go. All right.
You know, there is some commonality, real quick, DK. There's some commonality between those top 10 teams. Not a lot of snow.
Not a lot of snow.
Only Michigan. Michigan is the only
true.
team in the top 10 that gets a little snow. All those others are warm weather spots.
There you go. Places you can play baseball outdoors a lot more a part of the year, bigger part of the year than you can in the great Midwest where you have snow on the ground when the season is already a month old. All right, cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather. We'll hear from Grand Canyon coming up next.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Near Nogales Highway in Drexel, a little southeast of the intersection of Drexel and Nogales Highway, a tree fire. There are fire crews responding. Opposite side of town, up north, Oro Valley, Linda Vista, and Oracle for a vehicle fire. Crashes that are clearing Swan north of Grant, Ahaway and Country Club, Lambert Lane and La Cañada, and also Cortero and I-10. A 67 the low, 101 sunny tomorrow, 100 on Sunday, and a little breezy this weekend, 101 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. eBay Motors is here for the ride with the parts you need at the prices you want. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they're guaranteed to fit your ride the first time, every time, or your money back. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Frog and Firkin, a standout among the bars and restaurants in the University area. Frog and Firkin does what very few pubs can, combine a festive atmosphere and great beer with a menu that could stand on its own in any restaurant setting. A sports enthusiast dream with over 30 TVs, 30 beers on tap, and over 100 imported domestic bottles. Daily drink and food specials, and the kitchen is serving until 10. A standout in the University area. Frog and Firkin. Eat local, support local. frogandfirkin.com.
If you're a do-it-yourselfer looking for quality car parts in Tucson, look no further. Advance Auto Parts has 6 Tucson locations with over 75 years in business. Advance Auto Parts is the largest car parts retailer in the U.S., and customers know they can trust their products, like Die-Hard batteries. Now with free installation, only found at Advance Auto Parts stores. Take advantage of our same-day delivery and pickup. Just visit our website at stores.advanceautoparts.com. And make sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Advance Auto Parts, for all your car repair needs. Now a proud radio sponsor of the University of Arizona Wildcats.
Cactus RV and Marine, now offering consignments on RVs, travel trailers, boats, trucks, cars, and SUVs. Sell without the hassle and let Cactus RV do it for you. Cactus RV and Marine is also a local independent service center, so they can help keep your RV, travel trailer, toy hauler, and boat in pristine condition and ready to sell. A true one-stop shop. Call now, 888-2233. Visit cactusrv.com or visit them at their original location on Romero, just north of Prince during I-10 construction.
Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Now.
Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Now.
Hey guys, what are you...
Gotta take this. Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Now.
Thank you for... Uh-huh. Right. You don't say. Uh-huh. Now.
Hold it. What's with all the nows?
People want to know the best time for an elastification.
And you're telling them...
Hello? Now.
Well, there's no bad time for elastification, but the best time is now.
Pretty soon, Arizona temps are going to put a strain